Hello and welcome to the show. I am here on Forza 6 with another Autocross car build. My vehicle today is the Fiat Dino. Yes, it is another classic car. However, unlike the Opel, this one is a little bit larger, perhaps a little bit heavier. I'm not expecting it to be as crazy as the Opel GT. Perhaps a little bit more controlled. I doubt we're going to have quite the brutal acceleration from this car, but yeah, that little bit more control might be quite nice. So, to the upgrade shop, we will start by putting on all the handling parts that I want. So, of course, we're going to be going for the race tyres. We're going to be, I was actually expecting a bit bigger tyres. We're giving us 3 upgrades and we start off at 205, so I was kind of expecting larger front tyres, but okay, 235s at the front. They're okay. Again, A-class, all handling build cars. They're not too bad. What are we going to... we're not getting particularly big ones on the rear, though. 235s on the rear as well. Yeah, I'm actually surprised. I was expecting a little bit bigger tyres on this car. We may have a lack of overall grip. Could be quite an oversteery car. Possibly. I've thought about vehicles before and been completely wrong. We might see that, though, with the Fiat. We're going to... Oopsie, don't quite go for that level of... I would like to be able to have... I think I've said this before. I'd like to be able to have the Forza front aero and remove that bit as well. So you save weight and... Yeah. It's a shame that you can't do that. It can sometimes be the case, the same with rear stuff and so on. We might come back to the rear bumper if we need to find like a PI or something. Again, engines, I'm going to put all the handling upgrades on first. Then we're going to take a look at the possibilities when it comes to engine swaps, because I want to get all the handling parts on the vehicles, of course. So yeah, we'll see what PI we are at by the time we finish with all of this, and then we will take it from there. Right, we will stick on the roll bars. I mean, as I said at the start of this, the weight is going to be higher on this car. It starts off at... almost £3,100, and while we have got the race weight reduction to come, we're probably not going to get it much under £2,500, if we can even get it down to there, which we can't. £2,715. I was actually expecting it to take out a little bit more weight than that, but yeah, that's it's going to be a bit of a heavier car. So yeah, that's about the best that we can do, and we are at C-Class, relatively low C-Class, after all of the handling parts. Now, the engine options, we can of course keep the Dino standard engine, or we can go for a 5.7 litre V8, which I'm probably not going to pick for this, or, oh, we can get this one, fantastic, I was hoping this was going to stay at A-Class, we can go for the 3 litre V8 racing engine. Now, it does stay in A-Class, it is only just though, so we don't really have we don't have much room to play around with anything else on the car. I won't go for the 5.7 litre. Well, it's a decent enough engine, and so on. It is £200 heavier than the one that we start with, and, well, £300 heavier than the V8 Racing. So I'm thinking... We're going to go for the V8 Racing. It doesn't have a huge amount of torque, but decent power, 475 horsepower in this one, and it is that little bit lighter. So that is what we are going for there. There are aspiration conversions. You can go for a twin turbo. You can put twin turbos on this engine, but of course we're never going to be keeping it within A-Class. Now, the remainder of the PI, I wonder if we can sometimes... Aha! Yes, sometimes you can get away with the street transmission will give you some PI. I'm not quite sure why it is. I think it basically reduces the top speed slightly, despite the fact that it increases acceleration. So it's like 0.3 of a second faster to 60, I think about 0.3 of a second faster to 100 as well, or 0.2 faster to 100. Yeah, it's 7 miles an hour down in straight line speed. No, not even 7 miles an hour, like 5 miles an hour down. I don't quite get that one, but either way, it gives me more PI, so yeah, I mean... It's a win-win situation, really, going for that. I'm guessing we're going to be wanting the race diff, always wanting these, especially in the classic cars. Let's go have a look at the engine. What can we do to the engine? We can not do a huge amount, really. I guess it is a racing engine. Can we get one of... Oh, we can. We can get some more horsepower out of the engine. That's another 10 torque if we go for that one. That, yeah, I was expecting that to be a little bit too much. Or we can go for... Ooh, can we get... Okay, so it's 10... It's slightly... 1 more horsepower. I think the same amount more torque. Yeah, and that puts it up to A700, or we can go for air filter that does drop. It's all very much of a much. I think that left us with a bit more. Yeah, just 3 PI to play with. I think we're just going to go straight on with race fuel system. That works for me. And then we will have a look. Can we? Like, sometimes you can get away. Ooh. Yeah, sometimes you can get away with sneaking. Okay, so that's minus 8.3 pounds. Now, can we... Where is it? Over here. How much does this save? That it is less, so that's about 4 pounds. Okay, let's go back. See if we can... see if we can get some cheeky weight out of the vehicle. Now, I wonder if it'll let me put the rear bumper on as well. That might be asking a bit too... Or take the rear bumper off. Sorry, yeah, I was asking too much. Well, it's worth a look at least. We got the drive line on as well. Okay. That is our Fiat ready to go. 493 horsepower, 278 foot-pounds of torque, so plenty of power, but not the most amount of torque, certainly, that we've seen. It is also a slightly heavier side of cars that we've had go around the Autocross course. I mean, it's, what, 700 pounds heavier than the Opel GT, or 600 pounds around that. So, yeah, could be quite quick, possibly oversteery. Who knows? I'm hoping, though, it'll be a decent car. Of course, to test out the Dino, we have come to the Hockenheim circuit, where it'll get 3 runs through the Autocross course. Our current fastest time is a 2:05.2, set by a Renault 5 Turbo. And that is an incredibly tough sort of target for these cars to be getting near. I think the Dino here is not going to have the grip, especially not in that final sector where the Renault was so fast. I think we won't quite have the composure to be getting up there. It could certainly still go as a decent, perhaps mid-table car, may even throw up a bit of a surprise. Right, Fiat, let us see how you fare. Plenty of wheel spin off the line from this car. Ooh, okay, yeah, there is quite a lot of wheel spin in general. We can't quite get it stopped. It's not got the best brakes we've ever had. It is better than the Opel, though. The damn sight better than the Opel. All right, how are we going to fare coming through? Ooh! Okay, we've actually got really good turning. The front of this car does get changed direction quite nicely. However, the rear kind of does its own thing and goes quite sideways. Well, I mean, the front end got changed for that corner neatly. The rest of the car was doing its own thing, and we don't have rear grip, really. Are we going to be flat through here? Yes, we are. Holy crap, I just saw the speed. That's 124. It cracked 120. That's 2 miles an hour faster than we've seen just about everything else do down there. That's, wasn't expecting that. And equally, it doesn't feel like it's that fast either. That's, really very, very impressive straight line speed. I'm quite taken aback by that. I mean, the Opel, I know I did have to lift with the Opel coming down that back section, otherwise I have no doubt the Opel would go faster. But this is quicker than the 911, quicker than the Opel Kadett, the other very, very fast car in a straight line. That's, yeah, I wasn't expecting that. Oh, we nearly got a little bit caught out. I think perhaps some suspension trouble or a curb got me in trouble down there. Yeah, I'm still slightly taken aback by the speed of this car. We've had, oh no, back end's not going to like that change of direction there. Not in the slightest. No, it's, that is asking a little too much of this car, trying to carry that sort of speed, and this is where we might possibly. Having said that, the front end does get, the front end gets changed direction nicely here. The rear end can't quite follow it through. Well, we clipped a few gates with getting caught out by some oversteer. There are definitely some impressive characteristics, though, of the Dino. If I can get it all together, it could be pretty quick. So, on to the second run for the Fiat. I think it is going to be a case of trying my best to keep the oversteer under control with this car. It could well be the oversteeriest vehicle I think I've had around here. The RX-7 did have that crown previous, I'm pretty sure this is slidier. It's not too snappy with the oversteer, which I think was perhaps some of the problem with the Mazda. However, there is quite a lot of it in this car, so definitely going to have to be aware of it. We're going to have to be quite careful through here. That was some good speed through that section. It can be quite quick, and then I can't stop it down that end. If I okay, I mean the brakes are not bad on here. They're certainly a lot better than the Opel GTs, but they aren't the best that we've had. So if I can carry that speed, I will have to brake a lot earlier down that next corner. Oh, get it? Yeah, it's sort of, we don't have the ultimate overall level of grip that we have seen from some of the very fastest cars. Oh, and I asked a little too much of it through there as well. Yeah, because a couple of those corners now I have seen where we're not getting oversteer, the front end is giving out as well. It just can't carry the corner speed, basically, that some cars have. However, it does get out of the gates very, very well. And traction, actual putting the power down isn't too bad if we've got the car in a straight line. If we're trying to go around a corner slightly, then we do get bigger issues. But yeah, actual power delivery to the road is not too bad. It's a fairly wheel spinny launch. Fiat gets probably the biggest sort of wheel spin off the line we've seen from any car, I think, here. But yeah, after that bit, especially once we've got the tyres, you know, up to temperature and so on, it is. Oh, I got into all sorts of trouble around the hairpin there. That was yeah, not the greatest bit of driving from me. As we kind of got to fight the car through this final section. I think perhaps the slightly longer gear ratios in this do help it a little bit. With that aspect, it is well, I don't think we've got out of third gear certainly around here. Oh, that was poor. I was trying to kind of take a tighter line there. Yeah, that was slightly scruffy at the end there. I still think there's a lot of potential though. I think there's a lot of potential with this Fiat to get a quick time. On to the final run for the Dino. I've got to try and keep all of the oversteer in check and not make any silly little mistakes with this vehicle, and if I can manage all of that, I reckon we can perhaps go decently quick with this car. I quite like it. It's quite an entertaining drive. I do think overall kind of levels of grip we are not quite up there with the really fast cars, and that's not too surprising. Small tyres, a fair amount more weight than some vehicles that have gone. The composure is not quite there. The brakes are better than the Opels, definitely better than the GTs. However, they're certainly not the best that we have seen. We have got some good acceleration out of these corners when you've got that rear end sorted out, and that is a very important bit to have got sorted out. It's still a little bit slidey, a little bit ragged. I had to have a tiny lift through there. I wasn't quite sure I was in the right place. There we go. We're neat and tidy through there. Not quite as fast in a straight line this time out, but we are neat through the next corners. At least that's a bit of an awkward corner. I can't decide if I want it to be in first or want it to be in second. Like down here, yeah, first gear works, and we do have the traction to get away with it, but some of these sort of slightly faster gates is very much on the edge. I will short shift into second there though. That is a notorious corner for having cars sliding around, especially if you get on the curbs. Not a good place to be putting a wheel on the curb. There we go, we are stopped nicely through there this time. The back end was really wanting. It was very much on the limit through that section. Get it stopped into the hairpin, let it drift a little bit wide, very close to that inside barrel. Now I know we don't like this bit here. This has caught oversteering cars out in the past. I think it's that the camber changes around there cause some problems. We're going to get a burst of wheel spin, a bit of oversteer as we come into this final section. Now the front end is good through here. It's all about trying to keep that rear end in check, which I have done this time out. It's a run to the line. It's quick. It's very, very quick indeed. 2:06.0. That was a goddamn. That was a fast time there on that final run. Yeah, keep the oversteer in check, and this is a damn good car. This is a damn good car. It is. Yeah, I wasn't expecting that fast. I'll be honest, after those first couple of runs, yeah, doesn't feel that fast. It's one of those cars, and occasionally you do get these. Whether it be for circuit racing, for hot lapping, it doesn't feel as quick as it actually is. The Opel felt stupid fast in a straight line. The Opel felt like a complete rocket ship when it came to acceleration. This doesn't. This doesn't feel as brutally fast in a straight line. It doesn't feel as quick through the gates as some cars that we've seen. However, somehow, it is. Very. I mean, a 206.0 is an incredibly quick time through this course. Very, very few cars have gone that quickly. And yeah, this one, it just doesn't. It doesn't feel like it is that fast. But there we go. It is. The time, I'm still slightly lost for words with this vehicle, is enough to put the Fiat into 6th place. It goes quicker than the Corolla, the Mercedes 190e, the Sunbeam Tiger. It beats the Datsun 2000. It does lose out ever so fractionally to the Nissan Silvia. Very close between this and the Nissan, and it is down on the Beetle, the Corvette, and so on. That's, yeah, not quite the time I was expecting from this car, in all honesty. It is an oversteery vehicle, and there is an overall kind of lack. It feels like there is a lack of grip to this car, much like we saw. Again, I compare it with the Opel because this is very similar to the Opel. Only with this car, we get oversteer as opposed to understeer. It's weird that I go quicker with this one. I think there is perhaps a little bit more grip overall in the Fiat. Yeah, I am astounded by that. That is a really very, very good time from this car. So yeah, there we go. I think the V8 racing engine was indeed the correct way to go with the Dino. That is it for this video, though. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.